All right, I have two different sets of numbers here, and I want to represent both of these sets of numbers in three different ways. First, in set notation. Secondly, in interval notation. And then finally, I want to draw it as a real number line. So let's think about this first one. I want to think about the set of all real numbers greater than or equal to -7, but less than -1. So let's work on set notation first. So if I let x be this real number, then it's greater than or equal to -7. So -7 is somewhere here on the left, and x is greater than or equal to -7. But x also has to be less than -1. So that means -1 is somewhere to the right of x, right? X is trapped between these two numbers. And notice here, it was greater than or equal to. So I have less than or equal to. But here, I just have to be strictly less than -1. So I'm strictly less than -1 there. So this would be as a set. If we were to do this as an interval, x is a number that's somewhere between -7, and I'm going to include -7 with this bracket because of this less than or equal to. So x is somewhere between -7 and -1, and I'm going to exclude -1 because I can't actually be -1, right? Here, x is less than -1. All right, so that's interval notation. And now finally depicted on the real number line. So here's my real number line. Here's -7. Here's -1. That means 0 is probably somewhere right here. And x could be -7. Anything greater than that, but it has to be less than -1. So I have an open circle at -1 because I can get infinitely close to it, but I can't actually be -1. All right, let's work on the second part. All real numbers less than 2. Let's go backwards. Let's start with the real number line. There's 0, there's 1, here's 2. And if I want to represent all real numbers strictly less than 2, I have an open circle at 2 because I can get infinitely close to it. And I'm any number less than, right? Because I don't have a lower bound. So I can go as far to the left as I want. All right, let me clear off up here so we know what we're doing. That was the depicted on the real number line. Now let's do the interval notation. So x is going to be some number. I can be as small as I want. Of course, I can't actually be -infinity. So we have an open circle right there, or sorry, an open bracket. And I can be as large as 2, but I don't want to equal 2. I have to be strictly less than 2. So again, another open bracket. So x is somewhere inside that interval. And finally, set notation. X is strictly greater than -infinity. Of course, it has to be. And it is strictly less than 2.